Let's go some nerdy news. Neil Druckmann will not be returning for season 3 of The Last of Us. Now, apparently this is just focused on games that Naughty Dog are working on. However, apparently certain TV stars did not think he was adding much and thought that he didn't like art.
It's a strange
interesting
summary.
And I promise you, the person saying that is someone we all love and respect.
It's going to be Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. Apparently he wasn't that impressed with Neil Druckmann on set, and he thought he wasn't interested in making something. He was just interested in being there, which apparently caused some friction and created a situation when Neil thought it was best to just step back and let them finish off the show.
Yeah.
Bit of a strange one.
It really is.
I mean, if he is, like, I get from an actor's point of view, if it's just another person on set just being there for, and not like adding to the production of the show and potentially sometimes getting in the way or just adding their opinion for the sake of it, like, it could probably be frustrating.
And if like they were trying, like, as we know with like some of the things they've tweaked in the show, it's a bit of an interpretation. It's not a one-to-one. Maybe Neil was just there like poo-pooing everything.
Yeah.
And Pedro's like, why are we even making this show if you just want it to be the game? Just remaster the game for a 4th time. Some of the costumes used in Sinners had been made for the Blade film that was in production. Then, when Blade halted production, the costumes were sold to the production crew of Sinners. So, this headache I've had for the last 6 months about a director and writer who has relationships with the MCU writing a period piece vampire black-led film not being used to make a Blade film has just got even worse as I found out that he ended up using costumes that were originally made for Blade. Sinners should have been Blade. And I'm just furious because Sinners is so good that I wouldn't want it to change, but at the same time I'm like, we could have had the best Blade film ever made.
Well,
beyond angry, but very funny at the same time. Some very sad news. Julian McMahon, who played Doctor Doom in the 2005 Fantastic Four films, passed away this week. It seemed to come kind of out of nowhere. I've not seen any reports that he'd been ill for a while. It seemed to happen pretty fast. As recently as like a week and a half ago, he was asked in an interview if he would come back for something like Secret Wars if he was asked to reprise his role as Doctor Doom. And he'd be like, that was so much fun to do. I'd love to run it back one last time.
It's a shame.
So very kind of shocking and sad. And although them films in hindsight weren't great, I loved them as a child and they will always hold a special place in my heart. Cyberpunk Edgerunners Season 2 is happening. I'm ready to be hurt again.
Same.
I know me and Hori have obviously seen this and we both rank it as one of our favourite shows. Josh, have you seen Edgerunners?
It's on my backlog, which I feel like I just say to everything nowadays, but
it's only
it's 8
episodes.
It is... put it this way, Jenna has never played Cyberpunk. She doesn't watch that much animated stuff. I made her watch it after I'd seen it. It's one of the favourite things she's ever watched, and she thinks it's amazing. It is genuinely a masterpiece. And season 2 has been announced has got me feeling some kind of way, for sure.
Considering originally they were like, this is just a one-off thing. They didn't plan on doing any more than this. But it was so
and
well
it is a whole
loved.
new set of characters.
Oh yeah, it's like a whole new story. Like, that's just still set in Night City, which is the whole thing with Cyberpunk, is like, there's so many stories going on there. But I love the fact that it was so well loved that they basically went, oh shit, we actually should do more of these. The fans want this. So
there's just so many, like I said, there's so many stories in Night City. Just give them all to us. James Gunn's lost about the potential for a Static Shock project in the DCU, and he said they weren't working on anything at the minute due to issues with the rights. So we're all the right age to maybe remember Static Shock from the cartoons. Static Shock is a weird character because he has existed in DC properties, but he was created by another comic company who were kind of going bust that DC bought, but then they recovered and they bought themselves out. And now I think there is some dispute about who owns the rights, which means no one gets to use him.
Ah.
So that's great, especially in a TV film way. Obviously, comic book rights will stay with the comic book holder. But if DC are like, we're the only people who ever include him in a show, we own his likeness on TV, that's where the issue might come from.
Yeah, there probably has not been. There was probably never anything put in writing, and you've probably got Warner Brothers arguing, well, we've used him in TV, so that means we have the rights now.
Yeah.
And you never bought those back specifically, so...
The exact same thing we've seen with Marvel. It's like, yeah, they kept the comic rights to all the characters, but Sony owned Spider-Man, Fox owned the Fantastic Four and X-Men and shit like that. Disney Plus released Disney Plus and Hulu for the rest of the world. In the UK, it's just Disney Plus. Teased the rest of their 2025 slate in a kind of sizzle reel. And we got our first looks at Wonder Man and Percy Jackson Season 2, which are both coming pretty late in the year, November, December time, I believe. So it'll be good to see them. Obviously, we both love Percy Jackson Season 1.
Yeah.
Curious to see if they can do another good season and how ridiculously grown all of the kids
I was
look
going to
now.
say, it's going to be jarring because it's been so long, the kids are of that age where...
Do you not remember, in Season 1, the actor who plays Percy grew like 1.5 feet between the first and last episode.
It's going to be like... I know neither of you... I don't know about Josh, but I know you haven't watched Yellowstone.
No, I haven't.
Because there was like... The final season got split into two halves because of the writing strikes. There's a young lad that's like...
He's just all of a sudden an adult.
No joke, like after the... like half, or it might, like between seasons or whatever, it was like the first episode was like,
who the fuck is this guy?
Is that the same actor? And I was like, oh, it is. And everyone had the same thought and was like, because it's like he'd gone through puberty. He looked completely like just enough like the same,
So
but like
funny.
he'd shot up, looked like older. It was just like so jarring that I was like, is this a different actor? I fear that
Kind
might
of like,
happen with
do you
Percy Jackson.
remember with the Harry Potter films going from Chamber of Secrets to Prisoner of Azkaban, and all of a sudden they go from being like 12-year-olds to like 16-year-olds.
Teenagers, yeah.
Really. You're like, what the fuck happened? It was one summer, guys. And obviously Wonder Man is something we've been hearing rumours about since WandaVision. So the fact that this is finally actually happening is kind of crazy.
Yeah, wild.
Dune Messiah has been retitled. It's now just going to be Dune Part 3. I get why they've done it. I think Dune Messiah would have kind of fucked as a title.
It does go kind of hard.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's like Dune Part 3 Messiah or something like that.
The thing is, like, it made sense because these three films cover the first two books. The second book is Dune Messiah.
Yeah.
Part 1 and 2 cover the first book, and then Dune Messiah, the next book, was going to be a film of its own. So, like, that made complete sense to everyone. And then they're just like, no, Dune Part 3, because then everyone knows they are the same. I'm just kind of like, I like the titling of Part something instead of just Dune 2, Dune 3. The part does add something, I will admit. But
Right.
Dune Messiah is better. It just is. I feel like this also creates expectation for a Part 4.
Have you seen the on-set shot of the desert?
Oh, what, the picture of just the desert?
In like red, and it just...
Yeah.
Just that
I
shot
never
alone,
thought a
I'm
desert
just...
could look so pretty.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'd just sit... Yep, I'm in the cinema just to see that.
I'm just going to sit here and wait. I'm seated. The theatre attendees say the film hasn't even started filming yet, but I'm simply too seated.
Just absolutely stinking up the gaff waiting for it to come up.
Yeah, well, I'm living in that IMAX theatre. I don't give a fuck. Fantastic Four creator Jack Kirby has been honoured with his birthplace on the Lower East Side of New York being renamed to Jack Kirby Way on the corner of Yancey Street. Yancey Street, of course, is also the birthplace of Ben Grimm.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's why he was born
cool.
on Yancey Street, because of the relationship to Jack Kirby. It's fucking awesome. In the comic book space, I know you guys might be aware of this, Jack Kirby kind of gets overlooked a lot because Stan Lee was the face of Marvel. So it's really nice to see Jack Kirby, especially with Fantastic Four being so big right now, which he was a much bigger part of. Get the respect he deserves is fucking awesome. And finally, as of right now, Superman is sitting at an 85% and 96% on Rotten Tomatoes for the critics and audience scores respectively. There are rumblings of attempts to review bomb the film after it gets its full release on Friday. But right now, it looks good. That's all we can say. I mean, you know my opinion. Don't believe reviews. Go see the film for your fucking self. Yep. But as a rough barometer of whether you need to bring an umbrella or not, I'd say the weather looks okay.
But Con, I've not even seen it yet, and I already know that Henry Cavill is probably the better Superman.
Henry Cavill's not been the best at anything in his entire life.
I'm like, is he going to nibble on this?
That was literally what it was. Like, I have no care at all for Superman. I just know how vocal you are about your thoughts on Henry Cavill on the timeline.
Do you know what it was? For a long time, I was like, don't yuck other people's yum. If they want to like Henry Cavill, they can. But then people just started getting a bit too aggressive about their love for him. So all of a sudden, I'm like, you know what? People need to be reminded that he cannot act for shit. And the only time he's ever been passable is when he's a bit part character in an actual actor's film.
No, but it's all right because he builds Warhammer and PCs.
Yeah. And that is it. If that man came out tomorrow and went, I think PC gaming's dumb now and Warhammer's shit, all of a sudden no one would care about him anymore. I'm telling you. It's just because nerds think, oh, he's handsome and he has the same hobbies as me.
To be fair, he is handsome.